Peace, blessings, and wholeness, family. We're at the apartment stead. Got some Brussels sprouts, some more Brussels sprouts that I've nursed back to health. These actually had a powdery mildew. I think because they were too root bound, and where they were located on the seed tables, there was too much shade and they were getting overwatered. So snip back all those powdery mildew leaves, added a nice layer, some full circle soar compost soil mix, and then yeah, we'll see you at the garden. Here is the rest of the plants that are gonna get transplanted in the next few weeks. Getting a little leggy, but that's okay. Summer squash, celery, cantaloupe, 2 different varieties of cucumber, spaghetti squash, more summer squash, New England pie pumpkin, kale, Swiss chard, more celery. The sweet potato slips are popping off. And this will all be transplanted in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And these will be transplanted today. We'll see you over at the garden. So we made it to the garden, and I am actually noticing a little bit of powdery mildew still on these leaves. So I'm cutting them back really hard. So you can see I already did all these ones, and then I'm gonna do the rest of these, and I'm gonna plant them really low. So all your brassicas, just like your tomatoes, will actually root out from the sides of the stem. So I'm gonna plant them like this deep, and we'll see you back over in the field in a little bit. May 2nd, 5/2/25, Reno, Nevada garlic plot. And what can I say? Everything looks beautiful. I'm noticing a little bit of browning on the tips, but that is the garlic dying back, which is the whole process. So they're really leaning out into the pathways now, creating a good amount of shade. I'm seeing some weed pressure just on the edges still. Might throw some wood chips over these to smother them. Instead of ripping them up, just cut them back and lay mulch over them. Everything is looking really, really nice. I'm about to plant the rest of these Brussels sprouts, and we can go look at how the other seedlings that we planted last time are doing. So it actually snowed a few days ago, and it got pretty cold, down into the mid-30s. So all the seedlings aren't doing too well. The artichoke is hanging on. As the days get longer, I trust that it'll sprout more and start growing. Some other seeds germinating here. The elderberry cuttings. The potatoes have not. Oh, maybe just a little bit. Yeah. So the potatoes are starting to sprout through the ground, through the mulch. I think so. That might not be, no. It might not be potato. I think this one is right here. Could be wrong. But the rest of these beds aren't doing too well. With the seedlings that were planted, might have been too dry for anything to germinate, so we're going to plant the Brussels sprouts in these few. Oh, some of the carrots have sprouted, but they were old seed. Not, I guess there is a good amount of carrots here. Have to water them in. Might just plant the Brussels sprouts here, and then whatever seeds do germinate, they'll germinate around them. And then here are the other Brussels sprouts that planted last time. As you can see, they got hit by that cold, but then the new nice green growth. So we'll probably come around, just snip these off. Come on.
Use that one.
Alright, so it's a leaf day on the biodynamic calendar. Planted the Brussels sprouts. That's a tongue twister, say that 5 times fast. But I'm noticing this perennial, I don't know what it's called, I forget. I'm not really too familiar, but it seems to have powdery mildew on it. See how that brushes off like that? Yeah. And then, so now I'm realizing it's actually on pretty much all the garlic. So let me know if you're a farmer in Nevada, or specifically garlic farming, and what you do to mitigate powdery mildew early on in the season. Overall, the garlic is looking great. These, yeah, all of them have it, but it's not just my garlic. It's the garlic over there in those beds. It's even the weeds over there. So Michelle is getting some nice mulch, wood chips, gonna mulch in all of the Brussels sprouts we got planted here. So there's 3 per bed, and this is actually interplanting of potatoes and Brussels sprouts. So Brussels sprouts around the edge, potatoes down the middle. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8. We got 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 18, and 3, 6, 9 again. So we got 27 plus the 8. Got a whole bunch of Brussels sprouts right there. And plus another 1, 2, 3, 4. So overall, got the 1 artichoke plant, the potatoes, all those seedlings didn't germinate too well. So we have 39 Brussels sprout plants in the ground. These beans don't like the cold. It was warm enough, and then they germinated, but then they got snowed on, so they're not too happy. This corn also not doing too hot. But anyways, let me know if you know how to mitigate powdery mildew early on in the season. I'm usually not used to dealing with it until much later in the season. Right now I'm gonna water these artichokes in, even though it's barely drizzling. It's not too much. Just noticed this lemon balm over here. So given that there is already powdery mildew, I don't know what we're going to do about planting the rest of those plants that I have started. I was gonna plant them down in the pathways, but the garlic really is just taking over. You can barely even walk down the middle anymore. So we'll have to figure it all out as we go. Stay tuned for more updates as the season progresses. It's a first year farming in a completely different context, so we're always learning as we go, but we're really learning as we go because this is our first season. The wood chips have arrived. just like that, a few moments later, the sun has appeared through the clouds. If there's one thing that I've learned, when it rains in the desert, it doesn't last for long. And it's just a little pitter patter. It's nothing ever substantial like a torrential downpour. So we're gonna water these Brussels sprouts in. And I'm noticing that there's a few dry pockets. There's a few dry pockets in the beds where I've like stuck my finger through the mulch. But in the pathways, it's still extremely deep sunken moisture. So the roots of the garlic in the beds, even though if the beds are dry, they still have access to the moisture that's been sunk in the pathways. I don't know if the tree seeds are going to have enough moisture to germinate. They're still about a few weeks from germinating. But now I'm hard pressed because I don't know to water because everything has powdery mildew. So that's just going to create, that's going to worsen that problem. So like I said, let me know if you have any advice about dealing with powdery mildew this early in the season in a desert context, high altitude desert context. So peace, blessings, wholeness. We're about to water the rest of these. Thank you.